Hey y'all, it's Nathan here with the Garrett Racing Team. As you notice, we're not in our typical race shop that we normally would be in working on the open wheel modified, but I do have something special for you today. So I'm actually down here in Concord, North Carolina area, down here near Race City, USA, and I'm down here with a good friend of mine, Brandon Malcolm. I met Brandon when I was in college back in 2012, and he actually went down the motorsports industry path and has actually got a career at Stewart-Haas Racing working in NASCAR. So today we're going to kind of go over a few things that he's done in the racing industry, some of the stuff that he's actually been a part of, helped accomplish, and won a lot of different things, championships and trophies and races and all that type of stuff. So we're going to talk about all that. Brandon's going to show us around, show us all of some of his accomplishments here, and we'll talk about some more of his career and how he progressed and that type of thing. So Brandon, I really do appreciate you doing this with me. I know some people don't like being in front of the camera, but I really do appreciate it. So, guys, thank y'all. If you haven't already, hit that like button, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. That notification bell will let you know every time I got a new piece of content coming out. Also, check us out on Facebook. Everything's under Garrett Racing Team. All right, y'all. Hope you enjoyed this ride. Thank y'all. All right, y'all, so to start off with, I'm going to have Brandon kind of go over his background, his experience, how he got into the industry, how me and him met, and how more or less his career has progressed to this point. And we will lead into some of these accomplishments that he has made over the years and go over some of the trophies and wins that he's been a part of. So, Brandon, explain where did we meet and kind of, some of the projects we worked on, the internship you did, your career right out of school, and then how you got to Stewart-Haas.
Yeah, so during high school, I realized I wanted to do motorsports engineering. Looked up a bunch of different colleges, UNC Charlotte, Clemson. I ended up picking UNC Charlotte. That's where me and Nathan met. We had a lot of our engineering classes together, graduated together. Our senior year, at the time, I was an intern at BK Racing, and we did our senior design project together. We made a quasi-static, steady-state kinematics model in MATLAB by Dr. Kent Day, who was well known in the industry too. He built a lot of RCRs, simulation programs. He was our mentor. Learned a lot through that.
It was very challenging too, wasn't it? We put a lot of dang hours in at that place.
A lot of hours, a lot of late nights, but it was all worth it. We had fun doing it. Dr. Kent Day was awesome to work with. And once we graduated, BK Racing hired me on full-time, worked there for 2 years, and then made the leap to Stewart-Haas Racing in December of 16.
When you first got hired on in there, Brandon, didn't you have some success with Stewart-Haas Racing, like right off the bat?
Yeah, so at the time I was the shop engineer on the 10 car of Danica Patrick, but it was Stewart-Haas's first race with Ford. They made the change from Chevrolet to Ford during the off-season between 2016 and the 2017 seasons. And a lot of excited people, a lot of different paint jobs and everything. And actually Kurt Busch pulled off the win, the biggest race of the year. So that was really cool for me, even though I wasn't on the 41 at the time. The teams I'd worked with in the past, we'd never had a lot of success on track as far as winning races goes, so that was cool to be a part of that.
And that was the Daytona 500, by the way.
Yep.
That first race every year. So his first more or less race with Stewart-Haas Racing.
Yep.
One of their cars on their team won the Daytona 500. I mean, the NASCAR Super Bowl, y'all. So this must have been exciting to be able to start off like that. Start off with a brand new team and have some success. So we'll show you some of that. Got a flag that was signed by Kurt Busch for the race win, and I think he's got a Daytona 500 ring as well. So after that Daytona 500 win, you worked with Danica Patrick for a while. I know y'all had a few different driver changes, and you eventually ended up with Kurt Busch as well, didn't you?
Yeah, so the year after Kurt won the Daytona 500, the 2018 season, Danica Patrick left the organization and they partnered us up with Kurt Busch for 2018. The whole organization had a lot of success that year. I think Kevin Harvick had the series high in race wins. All 4 of our teams won a race. All 4 of us made the playoffs, and we actually came really close to making it to the championship race, which was at Homestead at the time. But that was by far the most successful season I've ever had. A lot of hard work, but we also had a lot of success and a lot of fun doing it. So,
And you also had a win that year at Bristol as well, didn't you?
yep. So that's a cool story that goes with that race. I actually bought my dad and brother Bristol tickets for their birthday in June, and the race was in August, and to have the whole family up there when we won, and it was my first ever win for the car that I was on, even though Kurt won in 17. I was on Danica's car at the time, so that was really cool, especially since I wasn't traveling to actually be at the racetrack to win our first race. That was definitely a moment I'll never forget, and always be a special part of my life. So, and then
You never forget the first ones, do you?
yep, they're always the hardest to come by. So
After that, that magical season y'all had a lot of success. You actually had another driver change,
Yep.
and had some experience with, I believe, Daniel Suarez, right?
So in 2019, we had another driver change. Daniel Suarez started driving the 41. Had a decent amount of success that year. Had a lot of good top 5 runs. We had a couple wins that probably got away from us, but never broke through into victory lane that year, unfortunately. But then in 2020, had a little bit of a team structure change. Cole Custer had a lot of success in our Xfinity car to 00 in the 2019 season. So they brought up Mike Shiflett, and the lead engineer on that car, Davin Restivo, moved up, and we were partnered together for the 2020 season. We ended up winning a Rookie of the Year in 2020, and Cole actually got his first Cup Series win at Kentucky that year. So that was really awesome. As y'all know, 2020 was a crazy year for everyone with COVID, so that affected us the same way. No practice sessions, and a rookie driver to be able to break through with a win was really cool for the team. Morale was really high, and we got into the playoffs. And in the last 2 seasons, I've been with Cole Custer as well in 2021 and this year in 2022, and hoping we can find some more of that success that we had in 2020 and get back into victory lane.
That's awesome, buddy. Out of all that success, too, they've got some pretty neat trophies that we want to show y'all. So the Bristol Trophy, the Daytona 500, I think, like I said, he had a ring. And that win at Kentucky is a pretty neat little trophy, too, with that baseball bat, like a Louisville Slugger. So, guys, we're going to go over that next. I'm going to let Brandon talk about all that. We're going to do a walk-by and kind of go over all this stuff, and you kind of put your eyes on some of this neat things that he's been able to accomplish. All right, Brandon, like I said, I'm going to do some close-ups of some of these things that you have here, and I'll let you explain some of it. So you want to kind of start with the Daytona 500 stuff that you have?
Yeah, man, we can do that. So there on the far right of the case, you can see the Daytona 500 championship ring from 2017. So Kurt was really awesome. Even if you were on the 41 or you were not, he paid the employees half so everyone could get rings, so we didn't have to pay anything for that. Like I talked about earlier, that was my first race with Stewart-Haas. That was really cool to come out of the gate. That was Stewart-Haas's first race with Ford, so it's just really big for the company to make such a big switch and undertaking in between 2016 and 17, come out of the gate strong. So the 41 guys, they kicked tail that weekend. The car beside of that is an exact replica of the Daytona 500 winning car, has all the confetti and grass and damage. Definitely wasn't a smooth day, but Kurt brought it home. As always, he was really good about that. The car there in the center that has the Stewart-Haas logo on it. So Stewart-Haas, his first season in Cup was in 2009, so 2018 was their 10th anniversary season. Like I talked about earlier, that was the most successful season they've ever had as far as race wins. All 4 teams won, so you can see there on the windshield, Tony Stewart autographed the windshield, and Gene Haas autographed the back glass, so that was cool. Old Christmas gift from the company.
All right, buddy. So we talked about the Daytona 500 stuff. We talked about that anniversary car. So Tell me about this Bristol win here and this trophy. So you've got not only the sword, but you have like a mini replica of the trophy as well. So let's talk about this sword first.
Yep, so Kurt bought these for us after we won Kentucky. Has the title of the race and the date. Bristol gives these to all the race winners, no matter what series it is. So nice, cool gesture from Bristol. But like I talked about earlier, my dad and brother, we were all up here together for this win. So that was really special to have my family there with me. And like I said, I wasn't traveling at the time, so to actually be at the racetrack to get my first Cup win was really awesome.
And they give you those swords because I guess Bristol's considered like a coliseum, right?
Yeah, it's like Bristol's slogan is, it's the last great coliseum. Really cool place to go watch races at and race there. Actually race on dirt there in the spring now and still have the night race in the fall, which is what we won in 2018.
Okay. What about this trophy down here on the bottom from Bristol?
Yeah, so so we actually ended up buying these miniature trophies that the winner gets. I thought that being my first win, that was really special. So got that. It's a really cool trophy. Probably one of the coolest ones that we have on the Cup Series schedule. And Kurt, he was always really good at Bristol his entire career, so it was just fitting that we won there with him. The monster car there, same as Daytona, that's an exact replica. You can see all the duct tape on the hood and the nose of the car. We actually got in an accident very early that race. I want to say it was before lap 5, coming off of turn 4. Kyle Busch spun out, I think, and all the guys checked up and got some nose damage, but it really didn't affect the car. The guys did a great job in repairing it, and Kurt drove his tail off and got the checkered flag that night. That was really cool to be there and see that.
You also got a banner from that as well?
Yep, so Stewart-Haas, they make these win banners every time one of our cars win. As you can see there at the bottom, that was Ford Fusion's 100th win. So that was also a cool milestone. I didn't even realize that was the case until we got the win banner, so that was really cool. That was one of the Fusion's last win because we actually switched over to the Mustang in 2019. So Edsel Ford, he came to our shop in January 2019. That was the first season they ran the Mustang in the Cup Series. So Ford gave us these little coins. So that was really cool to get that from Edsel. Obviously anyone that enjoys cars, even if you're not into racing, we all know the name Ford, and Edsel Ford's definitely got a huge history connection.
That's awesome.
With that automaker.
All right, so let's go over your next win from Kentucky of what was it, 2020, I believe?
Yes. So like we touched on earlier, 2020, COVID hit in March of 2020. So no racing for a couple months, and when we did finally get back on track, no practice or qualifying. They just wanted to limit the amount of time that we were at each of these cities. There was a lot of concerns with the virus spreading. And so long story short, that was Cole's rookie season. So that really made it tough for him starting all of these races. It was his first year in Cup, no practice or qualifying. So we were already at a deficit each weekend. We was able to get the setup really close at Kentucky, and Cole drove through the field and had a couple really good restarts at the end, and made a 4-wide pass for the lead on the white flag lap. So the car that Nathan's showing you now is our replica of that race win. Might be hard to see. Fortunately, that race was a much cleaner race for us, so no damage like the Daytona or the Bristol cars. You can see all the rubber was built up on the nose. So Lionel, they do a really good job at making the race win cars and having them look as close as possible to what actually went on the racetrack. And as y'all know, Kentucky is very famous for the Kentucky Derby, so NASCAR incorporates that into their race win trophies. Cole actually got that and signed for us. So that was really cool from our Kentucky win. over here, Cole also bought these Louisville Slugger baseball bats for everyone and signed them from his first win. So it's another cool part of our Kentucky win we can keep. The flag above the bat is from Kentucky as well.
So yeah, you got these are basically kind of like a record of this win that y'all had, and it's on a Sunoco Racing Fuel racing flag with, as you can see, the name of the race, the date of the race, and then Cole's signature there. Yep. So nice frame, really looks good, buddy.
Yep. So I bought them to hang up here in the living room. Here is all of our 2018 wins. Like we touched on earlier, that was Stewart-Haas's 10th year in Cup. So I made that a few years ago. Just
cool deal, buddy. That's when you have success like that all in one year, it makes it really fun, don't it?
Yep.
It's nothing like winning, is it?
Yep. Had a lot of fun that year, a lot of success.
And this is from the Bristol race?
Yes, sir. So this was from 2018, the night race at Bristol. So I bought this one, same deal. Kurt signed it there in the center. Like Nathan says, that's the title of the race and the date that you won.
And then we'll wrap up here with the granddaddy of them all, y'all. The Daytona 500 win that he got when his first basically official race with Stewart-Haas Racing.
Yep. And same deal. Kurt signed the middle of it there, and like we touched on earlier, that was my first race with Stewart-Haas. So even though I wasn't on the car, that was still a big one to win and to always remember.
All right, y'all, that's going to do it for this episode of the Garrett Racing Team. I hope y'all appreciated it. Brandon, thank you for showing me and taking the time to go over that stuff. It really is cool to see all these things. And a lot of people, like I said, they don't know what the actual team gets when y'all have success. The drivers aren't the only one that, gets to share these accomplishments and have the trophies and things. The team members, they get to, relish in these victories as well. So, again, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. And maybe we'll get you to the track here soon. And maybe I'll get you to help me get in victory lane. So.
In for. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, guys.
So, guys, thank y'all. If you stuck with me this far in the video, thank you, thank you, thank you. It really does make all the difference in the world. Getting all these subscribers, likes, views, it really does help us out. Until next time, y'all, be good, be safe, enjoy this ride. Thank you.